All right, welcome back to the Name Redacted podcast, America's most beloved podcast, the most downloaded Red Sox podcast in the world. It's just me and Jake for this one. And if you're watching on the YouTube channel, you'll see that Jake is just fucking chilling on a rooftop, just taking in those rays, just enjoying another fucking Red Sox sweep up there, Jake.
Yeah, no, down in Nashville for the weekend. Had to come down to find some ice because they're fucking running out of it up in Boston. So just doing my job down here.
I mean, that's a move. A lot of people have been talking about the ice shortages in Boston. Like I've been everywhere. I've been everywhere looking for ice. You can't find it anywhere. It's a real pain in the ass. And Jake, instead of saying it, went to fucking Nashville to get some ice.
Yeah, I had two options. I could say it or I could leave the state. And I chose to leave.
I don't even think you have to mute your mic. I can't hear the wind or anything.
Okay, I'll leave it on.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't hear no wind.
Perfect.
But this is the end of that run that Stats was tweeting about. You know, obviously we're going to talk about the sweep of the Guardians, but really, I mean, this is like I can hear birds chirping. That's great. I like that. It's ambiance. This is Red Sox Stats was tweeting this out. This is when the Red Sox were 11-20, and he was essentially along the lines of like, "Hey, this is the season right here." And it started with that 3-game set against the Texas Rangers. They took 2 out of 3 from the Rangers, 2 out of 3 from the Astros, swept the Mariners. That was the Franchi walk-off grand slam to complete that. 2 out of 3 against the White Sox. That rinky-dink fucking 5-game series against the Orioles. We're not counting that. They split with the Reds, but that was a 2-game series. Swept the A's. Took 3 out of 4 against the Angels. 2 out of 3 against the Mariners. 2 out of 3 against the A's. 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. Swept the Tigers and then swept the Guardians. So that run, I think Stats was like, if we can get 26 wins here, we'll be great. They went 31-11, a .738 winning percentage. And like, look at some of these losses. Like 3 of them are to the Orioles. 1 of them is to the Reds, and 1 of them is to the A's. So like they went 31-11. It could have been way worse. They could have done substantially more damage in that run. But I'm not complaining. This is the first podcast that we've done since the Red Sox have just taken over second place in the division. No more 4th place chirps. They're a second place team. They've taken over the top wild card spot in the American League. The Blue Jays got fucking smoked today. So I think they even have, it might be a 1.5 game lead now. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because Tampa has won 3 straight. The Jays have lost 2 straight. So they're tied. And they're both a 1.5 back of you. So the Red Sox are alone atop the American League wild card. They have a 1.5 lead on both the Rays and the Jays, and the Guardians have fallen 2 games back of them. So now the Guardians are not in a playoff spot. But yeah, I mean, this is all I'm going to say right now, Jake. I fucking love where the team's at. I mean, it's just a good spot to be in. They've won 7 straight games. They've won 6 straight series. What was the I wrote it down here. 4 sweeps, 7 straight wins, 13 series wins, 1 loss, 1 split in the last 15 series. They had 4 sweeps in there. And the only loss was that fucking whack-ass 5-gamer to the Orioles that shouldn't even count. How close have you been to saying it?
Well, first of all, I just want to say I predicted all 4 of those sweeps.
You did. Yeah, you did.
Nailed those.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's been a tough ride. I'm excited for Tuesday. This has been coming for a long time. I mean, we love where the team's at. They're playing good ball, but at a certain point, you're gonna want to say it, and we're close.
We're about as close as it fucking gets. I mean, you think about it like this: the next time we meet, we're gonna be able to say it. Like that's crazy to me. Like we're almost at a point where we can just fucking say it, Jake.
I'm going to say it so many times.
Are you going to say it at midnight?
Well, it depends. If we win on Monday, I think we're saying it at midnight.
Right. And that's a big series. We'll get to that in the Stop and Shop look ahead. But first, we got to talk about this, the most recent sweep against the Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians. But before we even do that, it's time to step up to the plate with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. New customers can bet just $5 on any game and get $150 in free bets no matter what, win or lose. If you're looking to turn a small bet into a big payday this baseball season, you can do that with DraftKings same game parlays. Create your own parlay by combining multiple bets like which team will win, total runs, extra innings, and more. And boom, you have a shot at an even bigger payout. The Nerfy parlays are still my favorite. Those are, and when I do like the Red Sox same game parlays, I might have to do one in the J series.
Maybe on Tuesday.
Maybe Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday I'll do a Red Sox like money line, Devers over or Devers to homer. I'll make that decision once we do the Stop and Shop look ahead in terms of which game I want or think Devers will homer in. But at least I guess it doesn't matter. I can do like over like 1.5 total bases or something like that. That seems pretty safe. Or I can do that with Julio. Either way, I mean, it's gonna be a lock, whatever that parlay ends up being. But right now, if your same game parlay doesn't hit, you can get a free bet back up to $10. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. All you got to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code Jared. That is Jared. New customers can make any $5 MLB bet and get $150 in free bets no matter what. That is promo code Jared only at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for details. MLB trademarks used with permission. Before we dive into the Guardians series, Sale, was that yesterday? Yeah, right? Yeah. 2 2/3, 6 strikeouts, I think 3 hits, no walks, no runs. You want to talk about fucking getting on a plane to Nashville? I mean, I almost joined you when I saw that tweet. And like, think about it this way, right? Everyone was talking about, oh, okay, you just went on this run of playing some garbage teams and you got to get back into it and this and that. And then you start playing some real teams. Well, the Guardians are a real team. And the Red Sox kind of just like dragged their nuts across their face at home. And it's not even like they lucked out and they didn't draw Bieber. They got Bieber. And it's not even like they got to the Guardians bullpen and they didn't. Verdugo hit the shit out of I think it was a knuckle curve that Bieber threw. And I love Bieber to death. But I think I got in his head before the series. I reached out to him and I was like, hey, a lot of people are going to be paying attention to this Plawecki-Bieber matchup. And for those who didn't understand why I was so locked in on that, Plawecki was in Cleveland. That's how I became friends with Plawecki, was because for whatever reason, I think it was because when we were doing Starting Nine and we were doing the Spikes Up tour, for whatever reason, we kind of like really got in with the then Indians pitchers, like Mike Clevenger, Shane Bieber, Zach Plesac, and at the time it was Trevor Bauer was there. So we kind of just like gelled with the Indians pitchers. And then because we got close with Biebs, that's where the connection to Plawecki ended up coming in. And then Plawecki ended up in Boston, which was great because he's fucking outstanding. And you know what? We haven't done any interviews yet this year. I want Plawecki to be the first. That's the guy. If we're going to start debuting interviews on this podcast, Plawecki is going to be the first one. But anyway, Plawecki got a knock off of Bieber his first AB. He almost hit a fuck. I wanted to see like the Would It Dong Twitter account. Like that ball that he hit in the 9th inning on Saturday, that had to have been a home run somewhere. Not at Fenway. Clearly not at Progressive Field, but it had to have been a home run somewhere. That ball was fucking stung. Don't let Plawecki get hot, by the way. Like, that's a dude that, remember last year? Like, Plawecki hit like fucking 330 as the backup catcher last year. I know like the numbers aren't like blowing you away this year. It's not really his job to be this offensive juggernaut backup catcher, but he's capable. And he also did in the wild card game. Didn't he have like a fucking double off Garrett Cole too?
Sure did.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, we love Kevin Plawecki on this podcast. But to the point about Chris Sale and Alex Cora is not a guy that just blows smoke up your ass. He's not. If he's not feeling it, he's not gonna say that he is. He's not that guy. So when he starts talking about Chris Sale, like, hey, this is the old Chris Sale. This guy is like, this is vintage Chris Sale. Well, first of all, it fucking better be. He's had the last 2 years off. So there's no reason for him to have this wear and tear. You've got surgically replaced body parts. You've had downtime. There's no miles on that arm over the last couple of years here. But think of it this way, Jake. The Boston Red Sox, and also before we get into the Guardians, did you see the report about Chaim Bloom?
I didn't.
So Chaim, I guess he was talking to the media, and he was like, yeah, we're not, that whole thing last year when everyone was like, oh, we were fucking standing pat at the trade deadline. No, we're doing shit. We're doing shit. And he's like, and I'll tell you what we're going for. We want 2 right-handed relievers that are guys. Just fucking, like, we're not trading for Johnny Slapdick from Cincinnati. Like, we want fucking guys. And he wants two right-handed relievers. And a big reason why, right-handed was specified was because, you've got Diekman, you've got Strom, you are getting back Josh Taylor. Am I missing another lefty? Diekman, Strom, Taylor, right?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I mean, that's enough. You got fucking 3 lefties that you can depend on. I think people are just sleeping on the impact of adding a guy like Josh Taylor. If he's first half of last year, Josh Taylor, then come on fucking back, because that guy was unbelievable. But Chaim Bloom is telling you, all right, we want 2 right-handed relievers, one of which you have to believe is Daniel Bard. Like, come on. Daniel Bard is 37 years old. He just turned 37, I believe, yesterday. He's having another great year for the Rockies. The Rockies fucking stink. What a great story that would be if Daniel Bard came back to Boston and was a part of something. And it's not like I think Alex Cora is going to continue to, we're not going to do a whole like name a closer thing. And Bard is closing out games for the Rockies. Maybe he helps out Tanner Houck and Schreiber and whoever else. Strom has been getting looks in the 9th inning. Maybe he gets into the mix. I don't think that they're just gonna be like, all right, this is the guy. I think it's just gonna be like we're gonna have a rotating cast of guys who are capable of closing out Major League Baseball games. That's great. But that's gonna be a name that's gonna, I would imagine, will come up a lot come trade deadline day, which is what, August 2nd this year. Don't fuck with the trade deadline. The trade deadline was 4 p.m. on July 31st every goddamn year, and then you had to go and mess it up, and now it's a different date and it's a different time, and it's like, all right, let's relax with that. It used to be July 31st. Now I believe it's August 2nd this year. But Chaim Bloom is telling you we're looking for 2 right-handed relievers, and in addition to that, because I did not want this to happen, I didn't want the Red Sox to look at this and be like, hey, well, we're getting Chris Sale back. We're getting Nathan Eovaldi back. We're getting Garrett Whitlock back. We're getting Josh Taylor back. And at some point, maybe James Paxton might show up. We're getting all those guys, so we don't have to add at the trade deadline because we're getting all these guys for free. Well, they're getting all those guys for free, plus they'll be in the market for 2 right-handed relievers. And you have to know that Heim is going to fucking fleece somebody. Someone's getting fucked this trade deadline. Someone's taking it up the ass this trade deadline. And it's not going to be the Red Sox. It's going to be Heim. It's just going to be fisting someone's ass come August 2nd. And the reason why I say that, and we'll get to this in the Stop and Shop look ahead, Connor Siebold, I believe, is starting the first game. He is. Yeah. And you know who's starting the last game? Nick Pivetta. You know, Chaim Bloom was just like, hey, can we get 2 important pieces that are going to be here for a while, cost-controlled pieces that we can have for years to come, and we'll give you Brandon Workman and Heath Hembry for 2 months. You guys good with that? Yep. All right. Boom. Done. Deal. And that's what Heim does. That's what Heim does to organizations. Is he's going to make you look like an asshole. And I am very excited to see what he does this trade deadline. I was excited last trade deadline. And yes, I think we were all on Section 10. I think we were all kind of disappointed at the time. I think we were like kind of excited about Kyle Schwarber, but it was like, well, he's hurt. And like, what's he going to look like when he comes back? And, you know, I love Schwarber, but like they already have a DH with JD. Like what are we going to do? Like defensively, like Bob started to heat up around that time. So it's like, all right, if Bob starts getting hot at first, then like, what are you're going to put Schwarber in at first, but like, what about Bob? And then you're going to DH him, but what about JD? And that's how he felt at the time. I mean, it ended up working out and you got 2 games away from the World Series. But this time around, I don't get like the Jaws theme isn't playing in my head. Like I'm not getting that like, oh man, like there's a big mega deal that's coming this trade. Like I don't get that sense where like they're gonna be like, bam, like here's fucking Chris Sale. It's not. I don't think it's gonna be like that big, but I think I think it's gonna be a name, and people are gonna be excited about it. It's not gonna be like, all right, yeah, like we need a couple of right-handed relievers, and it's a couple of guys that you've never heard of. Maybe they pan out, maybe they don't. Like all due respect to John Schreiber, he's been fucking unbelievable, but when he got here, did anyone even notice? No. I mean, he's been fucking great. He's been one of the best relievers in the league. Like, if I told you, like, hey, Heim just pulled off a deal to get a reliever that's going to end up being one of the best relievers in the league, I think we all would have acted appropriately. But we didn't know. Heim knew. Heim knew, and I wish Tyler was here to pump the fucking tires of Chaim Bloom. Because I don't think he gets enough credit. I think he only gets the grief. When the Red Sox start off 9 games under 500, and people were calling, like Matt McCarthy, 98.5 The Sports Hub, he wanted Chaim Bloom fired. He was serious. He wanted him fired. What about now, Matt McCarthy? They get the fucking 3rd best record in the American League. They're in 2nd place. 2nd best record in baseball since Alex Cora shaved his beard. Where's the credit for Chaim? A lot of Chaim guys have been some of the biggest reasons why the Red Sox were able to turn their season around. So that's all. I just got a little excited today when I saw that Chaim more or less said, like, I didn't want it to be a surprise. Like I didn't want there to be radio silence going into the trade deadline, and then us having to like, it's almost like you as a kid going to sleep the night before Christmas, not knowing if Santa's going to show up. Like that's a fucking terrible feeling. But when you know, like when Chaim tells you, hey, like we're gonna do something, like we're gonna invest in this team, and we're gonna pull off some moves here. That's exciting. I'm excited now. I don't know who it is. I think Daniel Bard, you know, like there's a chance. But being told up front, point blank, we're going to do something that makes me excited, Jake.
It's great.
Oh, man. Oh, Jake, you're doing great. When are you back?
I'm flying back tomorrow.
Flying back tomorrow. When do we go to Chicago?
We're leaving on Thursday.
We're leaving on Thursday. What time do we fly out?
I think 2:10.
2:10. Red Sox are off on Thursday?
They are.
Red Sox are off on Thursday. All right. That'll be exciting. Get to Wrigley. See some ball games. It's almost all-star time. We'll be going to LA. Exciting times, Jake.
It's
exciting times. Yeah, it's going to be our first trip together, right?
Yeah. Just the boys.
Just the boys. Just the big dogs. Fuck yeah. All right. So first game of the series, that was the Pavetta game, yeah?
Yep.
Pavetta goes 7 innings, 9 hits, which, all right. You know what? I'll take it over the no walks. Like when he goes out there and he walks 4 and whatever, like I don't love that. But I can live with the 9 hits, 2 earned runs, whatever. One of them was a homer. I'm fine with that. Schreiber coming in, shutting shit down in the 8th. And then Houck. Houck was shaky. Houck was shaky in that first game. But whatever. No damage. Gets it done. Red Sox win that game. That was the game that Devers. Oh yeah, that was the Arroyo homer game. Yeah. Yeah. That's another guy that we got to talk to on here. Arroyo was down in Worcester rehabbing. And I think he went 0 for 6 and he had a game where he struck out. He was like 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. And like, that's probably frustrating and we talked about this, I think the last episode. But that's how quick it can turn around. And that's like one of the stories that like I'll tell all the time is kind of like a microcosm of that is, he's done it, I think 2 or 3 times now. I can't remember. But Christian Yelich was in the cage before a game, went in there, took a bunch of shit swings, felt awful. He was like, I'm going to be fucking terrible tonight. And that was one of the games that he hit for the cycle that night. So you can go down to Worcester and you can stink it up. But, I mean, who cares? It's a clean slate every single night. You have a chance to go out there and make an impact, make a difference. And Christian Arroyo hitting that homer, which I believe, that gave the Red Sox the lead at the time. That made it from 2-2 to 4-2. Yeah.
Yep.
So Christian Arroyo, I don't know. I root for him. I see some of the reactions on Twitter from some people where I think, what did he get thrown out at home plate? He did something in that game where people on Twitter were like, I'm so out on Christian Arroyo, like I'm done. And then like the next inning, he just fucking crushes a 2-run bomb. So I think, this is a guy that's going to make an impact in the second half. I think that his best moments are still ahead of us. Even though he's been here since 2020. There's been injuries. He's had COVID 17 times. If he just has a run where he can get plugged in and get some playing time, I think he's an impact guy. He is. He's an impact guy that doesn't have a spot. It's very hard to make a great impact when you don't have a spot, and he does not have a spot. But that's how you kind of create a role for yourself, is when you're called upon, like in a situation like that. Hey, welcome back. Just got off the COVID IL. Need you in there tonight. Boom, 2-run homer. And it didn't end up being the game winner, but it gave the Red Sox the lead, and it was obviously an important, very big hit at the time. The Red Sox managed to win this game going 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position, which, hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. That middle game, the Jarren Duran game, and there's people are kind of all over the place on Jarren Duran right now. I feel like there's a lot of people in his corner from a baseball perspective. There's a lot of people in his corner from a baseball perspective because how could you not be? When he gets on base, he's on second. He's a guy that with his speed, which is very rare, it's a weapon. You hit a ball in the gap, guess what? That's a run. Like when he's standing on first base and like JD shoots the gap, I'm like, all right, that's a run. Like Jarren Duran's on first, guess what? He's scoring from first on that. That's like a rare thing. It's like an exciting thing too. Like if JD's standing on first and Alex Verdugo launches a ball in the gap, it's like he might still be standing on second base. Like that's just the reality of things. So when you have a guy like Jarren Duran that has that kind of crazy speed, it's exciting when he gets on base, JD shoots one in the gap to right center, and you start seeing the outfielders' numbers because they're chasing it down in your head before they cut that camera shot back to the infield. You're thinking he might be fucking rounding third right now. I don't know. Could be. But he had the opportunity 4 times on Saturday because he went 4 for 5. 4 for 5 out of the leadoff spot. And with the Red Sox, he's hitting .327 with an .886 OPS. And there are still people out there that are like, I don't know if I want this guy in the leadoff spot. Or like when I tweeted out, I was like, hey, either Jarren Duran is your leadoff hitter or you're wrong. There's no in between. And I got some people tweeting me saying, well, have you heard of Kike Hernandez? Have you heard of Kike? It's like, yes. I've heard of Kike Hernandez. I like Kike. I think he's a great fit on this team. I think he was a huge part of what the Red Sox had going on last year. He has not been a big part of what they've had going on this year. His on base in 51 games, 238 plate appearances, his on base percentage is .273. That's not going to get it done. He's hitting .209, whatever. People don't love batting average anymore. .613 OPS, .340 slug. I mean, he's not doing damage. As a leadoff hitter, you need to be getting on base at a clip that's significantly better than .273. So it's I'm not trying to say like, oh, get rid of Kike. I'm not saying get rid of the guy. I'm just saying when he comes back, and who knows when he comes back, I mean, Duran probably might be down in Worcester because of the whole fucking not getting the shot. They go to Toronto. He can't come with. It's a whole fucking thing. Like what happens to his spot. But I mean, it's night and day. The dynamic of the Red Sox lineup. Like you have a threat. First inning, first batter. It's like, fuck. We need to get this guy out first. Because then if he gets on, there's Devers, Bogarts, JD, like those guys. There's 3 guys after this guy that can really fuck us with that guy on the base paths. And guess what? He gets on the base paths, which is the whole point of being a leadoff hitter. And again, Kike hasn't done that. I'm not saying put Kike on the bench. I am saying I don't want him hitting first. I want Jarren Duran hitting first. He gets on base a lot. And all of that, you create a whole different dynamic. And this is something that you can't quantify with statistics. The outfielders, the pitcher, if they know that they have speed on the base paths, that changes the dynamic of everything. Now they've got they have to hurry up because every infielder, outfielder, everyone is cognizant of who's at the plate. Like we saw that in the Detroit series with Miguel Cabrera. And we saw that in the Cardinal series when Albert Pujols got some ABs. A ball on the ground, it's like, yeah, I know who's running. I can take my time. If you know Jarren Duran's running, you can't take your time. And if you have to rush, you're more likely to make a mistake. That's a factor. There's no stat to quantify that, but that is a factor. And when that's your leadoff guy, I mean, he can get hits on his own, but if he's putting the ball in play instead of striking out, you're forcing the infielders to make a perfect play because they get fucking the fastest kid alive running up the line. I'm just saying, it creates opportunities. It creates base runners. And that's how you get, in my opinion, the best offense in the league. That's how you get things going. It's getting the first guy on. You get the first guy on, you set that up for all the other guys. The Devers, the Bogarts, the JDs of the world. And on Saturday, Jarren Duran got on base 4 times via a hit. Had a double in there. It's just, there's still some improvements, like we've said before, that need to be made. What was the game that he had the bonehead? Was that Saturday? Where he tried to steal third?
Yeah.
On a pass ball?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a sign. I mean, like I think Devers even had his hands up saying, don't go. Try to steal third on a pass ball, got thrown out. And I want to say that was when he got thrown out at third. Then I think Bogarts got a hit. And then JD got a hit. And then I think, so that was the same inning that Verdugo hit the 3-run homer. Yeah, so that would have been a 4-run inning instead of a 3-run inning. I mean, it doesn't matter. They won the game anyway. But let's just say the Red Sox lose that game by 1 run. That's the difference right there. And the Guardians are a good team. The Red Sox are lucky. Jarren Duran's lucky that play didn't end up costing them. In the postseason, a play like that is more likely to cost you a victory. So it's things like that. People complaining about the routes that he takes the balls. Fair. Fair point. It is a little. I tweeted something to the effect of if you could combine Jarren Duran's routes, or no, Kike's routes with Jarren Duran's speed, you'd have Andrew Jones. I mean, Kike is a good, sound outfielder. He is. But yeah, that's also an area that needs improvement. Is the routes that he takes the balls. They can be a little gross at times. But yeah, that's one of the more interesting storylines to me moving forward with this team is what will become of Jarren Duran after Toronto. Because that's a big series, man. Like, I know he said, like, we had Coley on last week talking about the fucking, the quote about the research. It's like, what research are you doing? like Jarren Duran is not sitting at home fucking reading medical journals after baseball games. He's just not. Like, I respect everyone's decision. If you want to get the vax, great. If you don't want to get the vax, great. But like, don't tell me that you're reading up on it still after like most people that got it like a year ago. Like, it is what it is. And I don't side with the people that say you're selfish if you don't get the vax. You're a bad teammate. You're selfish. Like, I've seen those takes about Houck and Duran, like, oh, you're selfish because you won't do it. And it kind of, it makes it look worse when you consider that everyone on the Yankees got it. Like, Aaron Judge wasn't vaxxed, and then they made a big deal about it in Toronto and being able to go there and play. And then all of a sudden, Aaron Judge is vaxxed. Okay. Your Aaron Judge equivalent on the Red Sox, if there is one, Devers, he's vaxxed. But yeah, I would say it's not selfish. The word is more like frustrating. It's frustrating because you would like to be able to have your team at their best when you're playing a team that's up your ass in the standings. Like, if you couldn't go to Detroit without a vax card I don't think people would care as much. But because you need a Vax card to get into Toronto, a team that is a game and a half back of you in your own division, a good team, that's why it's frustrating. A team that you might see in October, that's frustrating. Like, it's frustrating now. What if they have to play the fucking Blue Jays in the playoffs? Then what? You just don't have your fucking leadoff hitter? Don't love that. Don't have your closer? That's another reason why, Heim is probably like, yeah, man, we got to go get a guy that has closer experience. I mean, Houck has some. He's getting there. That game that he saved on Friday, it was shaky. But he still got the job done. But in October, that's a whole different animal. Like, you're going to want a guy that's saved some games. And I'm not saying that Daniel Bard is some postseason fucking legend, but he's been saving some games. I think experience helps. A veteran present helps. There's a lot of young arms in that bullpen. A lot of haven't been there and done that arms there. So yeah, it's just something to think about as the Red Sox kind of creep back into this thing. I don't even think they've crept in. They've kind of just fucking kicked the door down. But being a second place team, the top wild card team, and you're about to go to Toronto and you don't have your leadoff hitter that has been performing really well, I don't love that. I don't love it. But I still have to respect the decision. Another guy that I wanted to kind of give some love to here, and I don't know that I'm not going to suck my own dick here, but I knew that his big league debut was fluky. I knew that when he got called up and he was shaky and he was walking guys, that wasn't this guy can't hang. That was this guy's fucking nervous because he's making his big league debut on the mound at Fenway Park. That'd be Josh Winkowski. So Josh Winkowski has to go out there and match a former Cy Young Award winner inning for inning. And Bieber, I love Biebs. He outlasted Winkowski. Bieber went 7. Winkowski goes 5 1/3. But Winkowski, 5 1/3, 2 earned runs, 4 strikeouts. Shane Bieber, 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, couple walks. Gave up the homer. Gave up the homer to Verdugo. 2 of the biggest strikeouts of the game, though. That was Diekman. That was Schreiber. There was some fucking trouble there in the 7th, where I think we're already at a point where Jake Diekman is coming out of the bullpen, and people are just like, man, I think this is not going to be fun. Like, you don't want to have a guy come out of the bullpen and your stomach just sinks. You don't want to have a guy come out of the bullpen and you're already feeling anxiety before there are any men on base. But that essentially is what a lot of Red Sox fans feel when Jake Diekman goes out there. He did walk one. He did give up a hit, but he did, what was it? Kwan? Did he strike out Kwan?
I think so, on that curve.
Yeah, Stephen Kwan, I believe, is like the hardest hitter in the league to strike out. And I think he punched out Kwan. And then Schreiber, going to Schreiber there. He had the punch to get out of the bases loaded jam. And then Strom, and then Houck, another save for him in that game. That was his 6th. But Alex Verdugo he's come on a little bit. He's starting to get rewarded for hitting the ball really fucking hard. And that Saturday game, knuckle curve, Shane Bieber, fucking see you later. And that was probably the biggest hit of the year for Verdugo. Besides, people forget that homer that he hit off. Was it Cole that he got in Yankee Stadium?
I believe so.
Yeah. I don't even remember if they won that game or not. So that was a signature moment. You get a 3-run dong off of Shane Bieber, an actual Cy Young Award winner. because Garrett Cole is the worst pitcher in the Yankees rotation. That's not even a big deal anymore to hit a home run off of him. Everyone's doing it. But then in the finale, Duran, couple knocks again out of the leadoff spot, scored a run. Raffy, 3 hits. 3 hits. I mean, the Red Sox as a team had 15 hits in this game. So they added 2 in the 9th, but I think they went into the 9th with like 13 hits and only 6 runs. And I was like, that doesn't check out. They were 6 for 20 with runners in scoring position. They left 16 men on base. But it's fine. It's fine. Still scored 8 runs. Julio had 3 knocks. Devers had 3 knocks. Verdugo had 2 knocks. Story had 2 knocks. Vasquez had 2 doubles. Franchi had a double. This team was cooking. They were cooking in the finale. It was never, you never felt like you didn't have this one. I think the Guardians were just kind of like, fuck, we still have to play these guys again. Like, it had that vibe more than like, oh man, if we can just squeak out this last one, we can sweep this series. Going into that finale, because Savale, who they mentioned on the broadcast about 6,000 times, grew up a Red Sox fan, loved the Red Sox growing up. He was the best. He was the biggest Red Sox fan. Did you see the game? Did you watch it on TV?
I was like in and out watching it on my phone at different bars.
They showed a picture of a young Aaron Savale campaigning for Jerry Remy to be Red Sox Nation president. So that means that he was campaigning against me. It's fucked up. It's real.
You smoked him though.
Yeah. Well, 3rd place finish for me. R.I.P. Remdog. And he is sorely missed on these fucking broadcasts. I think I need more like hometown, like when Euclid was doing the headband, loved it. Eck, when he gets into it, Millar's been good, but that nightly, consistent, like knowing that there's someone in the booth that wants the Red Sox to win, I miss that about Remy. Like Dave O'Brien, one of the best broadcasters in the game, but he's a neutral broadcaster. He's neutral. I need you to want it. I need a guy in there who wants it every night. I miss that about the Red Sox broadcast. This was a shining moment for Rich Hill in the series finale, because people are coming at me now for defending Rich Hill. People are coming at me being like, oh, you say that we're ageist? We're not ageist. He just sucks. Really? 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run. The 4 walks, didn't love that. But punched out 5, got the dub. ERA down to 4.09, which, like, if I told you, Jake, at the beginning of the season, hey, the Red Sox signed 42-year-old Rich Hill, like, where do you think his ERA is going to be? Or like, what would you be cool with him having? Somewhere around 4. That's where he's at. What the fuck is the problem with, I mean, yeah, I'll never understand the Rich Hill people that are like, he's too old, get him out of here. No. Rich Hill's doing a fine job for what he's been asked to do. And who knows what'll become of Rich Hill. I mean, like, you have Whitlock coming back. This is, and I talked about this with Maz on the Baseball Hour on 98.5 The Sports Hub. And I said that this is the perfect opportunity, because the Red Sox are an organization that never want to admit when they're wrong. And I respect that about them, because I'm the same way. I will never admit when I'm wrong. Neither will the Red Sox. So moving Garrett Whitlock to the rotation was a mistake. Now he's on the injured list. He's been on the injured list. If you were to move Garrett Whitlock from the bullpen to the rotation back to the bullpen, that would look like a demotion. That would look like you saying as an organization, hey, we fucked up. That was a mistake. We thought we were the smartest people in the room. Turns out we're not. It didn't work out. So now we're just going to put him right back there in the bullpen where he was dominating in God mode. They were never going to do that. They just weren't. But now what you can do, because Chris Sale is coming back, Evaldi's coming back, at some point you're going to get Paxton. You need help in the bullpen. Fine. Whitlock is what he is in the bullpen, which is fucking absolute stud. If you take him from the bullpen to the rotation to the injured list, then you're not really admitting fault by when he comes off the injured list being like, well, we put him in the bullpen because we kind of want to take it easy with him. You know, like we don't want him back on the injured list. You know, we kind of want to be able to monitor him, give him some days off, and you know, we're going to limit his workload. We can do that much easier out of the bullpen. You're not admitting your fault, but you're also correcting your mistake. Just saying. But as far as Rich Hill goes, I mean, who the fuck knows when I actually walked, I crossed the street. I walked past James Paxton the other day. We're going in opposite directions in the crosswalk. And I was like, that was a fucking big maple right there.
How's he
fucking
doing?
Big. He's great. I didn't get to talk to him. I don't think he would know who I was. I barely knew who he was, but it's very unmistakable. Just a big ass Canadian motherfucker walking down the street of Boston. That's can only be the Big Maple. Who else was it going to be? But Rich Hill, I don't know. I mean, if he stays in the rotation, great. If he doesn't, fine. I think he'd be great out of the bullpen too. I think there's a role for him out there as well. But it's good to have options. It's good to have, like, if you want to put Houck in the rotation and have him open and piggyback with Rich Hill. Like, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but it's good to have options. It's good to have pitchers on your roster who can start if you need them to, or they can come out of the bullpen if you need them to. They have experience doing both. Houck has experience doing both. Whitlock has experience doing both. Hill has experience doing both. So it's a good problem to have when you're like, damn, we have all these talented pitchers on our team and we're getting even more talented pitchers back. Like, fuck. Like, it's a good problem to have. I'm not freaking out about it. I'm not concerned about it. But I did want to make that point about Rich Hill and how essentially, if you covered up the name, if you covered up the date of birth, I don't know that there would be that many people complaining about Rich Hill. Like, he's got a 4.09 ERA on the year. Like, you take that 10 times out of 10. On the day that it was announced that the Red Sox signed Rich Hill, sign me up for a 4.09 fucking ERA from a 42-year-old left-hander that throws fucking maybe 90 on a good day. He was hitting like 90, 91. Curveball was like 64. But Pitching Ninja had a really cool GIF, an overlay of the arm angles and the release point being virtually the same. If you're up there, I mean, like, he undressed Jose Ramirez. Jose Ramirez is one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball. So it doesn't matter if he's throwing 90. His curveball's fucking nasty. And when you're throwing out of the same arm slot like that, and it might be a fucking sick curveball, and it might be a four-seam fastball that ends up a little bit up out of the zone, that 90 miles an hour might look like 98 to Jose Ramirez because you're expecting something completely different because you're looking at the arm angle. So I am a big proponent of Rich Hill. And I hope he stays in the rotation. I wish him continued success. And another guy that I've wished continued success for is Ryan Brazier. Ryan Brazier, Alex Cora had some very positive words to say about Ryan Brazier. They played it during the broadcast, but it was like an interview that was recorded like before the game. And he said, listen, you know, we had a tough conversation with Brazier. He wasn't getting the job done. And we sent his ass to Worcester. And since he's been called up, he's been outstanding. And it's hard to argue that. I think Ryan Brazier, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, game 7 of the World Series, 9th inning tie game in fucking LA, that I got Ryan Brazier on the mound. I'm not saying that, but it feels, and I'm also not at the point where, say it's a 1-run game and you see Alex Cora walking out to the mound to come get a guy and he holds up the right arm. And then you see Ryan Brazier trotting out of the bullpen. I'm not sitting here telling you that I'm all fucking giddy and amped up for a shutdown performance. I'm not there yet. But the numbers would tell you that Brazier has been better. There has been an improvement since he got sent down to Worcester. I haven't done the Red Sox relievers that I trust list yet. I think maybe I'll start. When should I start that? After June 28th, probably?
Yeah, that feels like a good time.
Yeah, it does feel like a good time. I'll probably do the Red Sox relievers that I trust list after June 28th. And the list has evolved over the years. I want to say I started it in like 2014, maybe was probably the first season that I did it. But it's evolved to where it now has tiers. It used to just be like, I trust, I do not trust. There's kind of like, I trust, and then there's in between. Like you're kind of like you're on probation almost. And if I were to release the list right now, Ryan Brazier for me would be in the probation part of it, where it's like, I don't not trust you, but I don't trust you yet. Is that fair?
That's definitely fair.
If you had your own trust list right now, who would be on the actual trust part of it, Jake?
I feel like Schreiber is the leader in the clubhouse on that list right now.
Yes.
Houck, I trust. I mean, he had the other night, he was a little shaky, but I still definitely trust him. I mean, Whitlock, I'm going to trust regardless when he comes back. That's probably top 3 for me right now.
Yeah, Houck has been shaky, but he hasn't blown any games. He hasn't proven to be like fucking Craig Kimbrell shutdown 2017 type performances or anything like that. But you're not trotting him out there being like, oh, fuck, buckle up. I don't feel that way. But I don't know. I just wanted to show some love to Brazier. And did Houck pitch in every fucking game this series?
Seemed like it.
Yeah, he did. What was that? What the fuck then? He pitched in every game this series, but that game that fucking Robles blew in Seattle, they couldn't use Houck because he pitched the night before. He couldn't go back-to-back days, but now he can go back-to-back days. That was 3 weeks ago.
Seems like there was something else going on there. Or maybe it was a cop-out.
Yeah, what the fuck? I would have loved to have had that victory. Because, I mean, I don't know. I'm also, I'm just getting greedy here. But if the Red Sox won that game, the Red Sox won that game, they would have taken all 6 games or 7 games from Seattle this year. Huh. Well, I'm not going to get greedy, Jake. Not my MO. No. Not my MO. A lot of people were saying that this was a slam dunk, Klark's Ketchup Series MVP.
Yeah. I mean, are we both on the same page here?
I mean, I'm probably still going to call Coley if we're being honest.
I wanted there to be controversy so we could call Coley.
Well, there's only 2 of us on the show today. So I feel like we have to at least have a deciding vote if we're not on the same page here.
Yeah, that only seems fair.
I feel like you're voting Verdugo.
I am.
Yeah, I mean, Verdugo, here's how it shakes out. Alex Verdugo played in all 3 games. He hit .455 in the series, which surprisingly did not lead the team. Did not lead the team. You know who led the team?
Duran.
Rafael Devers hit .462 in this series. But as far as on base percentage goes, Alex Verdugo got on base 60% of the time, 600 clip to lead the team. The slug was .909. The next best was Devers at .769. And then the OPS led the team 1509. He did not strike out in this series. That's crazy. He didn't strike out in the series. He walked 26.7% of the time. Yeah, I think this is. I kind of want to call Coley just to like let him give Verdugo his due. And see if he answers. But it's Alex Verdugo. Let's see if he's. Oh, I'm raising my baby.
Bullshit.
Yeah. McMahon.
What's up?
What are you doing? Raising a baby?
Sometimes.
So we're doing we do a segment on this podcast. It's
What podcast?
it's the it used to be called Section 10, but now we can't use that name, so it's the name redacted podcast for right now.
Okay.
Are you familiar?
No.
So we do this segment on the show where like we give out like an MVP based on like the best player of each series, and it's sponsored by a condiment company that only makes ketchup. Are you familiar? Are you familiar with Klark's?
I thought you were going to say Hunt's.
No,
Yeah.
no, this is Klark's.
Yeah.
So it's the Klark's Ketchup Series MVP, and I mean, I wanted to give you a vote, even though Pete didn't show up and Pat didn't show up, which is par for the course. But Jake and I actually voted for the same person. I kind of just wanted to give you the chance to make it a unanimous vote.
Voted for the same person, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was thinking about this earlier today, watching the Sox just mop the fuck out of the Guardians. I mean, that team stinks.
Yeah, they're not good.
They're good because Francona's there.
Mm-hmm.
He can turn any team into a contender.
Mm-hmm.
I saw someone chirping the Red Sox last. I think it's 42 games. What are they? 31-11 over the last 42, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
We took 2 out of 3 from the Astros. We took 3 out of 3 from these Guardians, knocked them into second place and out of the playoff picture entirely. There was another good
Cardinals
team.
2 out of 3.
Yeah, Cardinals were 2 out of 3. Just absolutely dicked up and down the West Coast, which is historically a struggle, regardless of how good or bad those teams are.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I didn't really look at it as like, oh, it was only dog shit teams. Yeah, a lot of those teams, like the White Sox. The White Sox are under 500 because we dominated them so thoroughly. Otherwise, they'd be a 500 ball club. These are the things you're going to take into a factor when you're looking at such a large scope.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you two voted for one of 2 players, both outfielders.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume
no. I would say the other candidate would have been a young third baseman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought of him as well.
He hit .462 in the series. Devers hit .462 in the series with a 1332 OPS.
But did he get that one ground ball?
What one ground ball?
The one Jose Ramirez hit today. It really didn't matter.
Oh, the one that he fired into the fucking 30th row?
No. There was one that hit a crazy hop that just scorched past Devers and went to the corner. It had zero impact on the game because the Guardians stink. Also, I forgot how much Devers hates Cal Quantrill, so I'm glad that's how he took yard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that was nice. The only other guy, I mean, I thought you'd throw Duran in there. He was really good in the series.
Duran's considered. I mean, he had the 4-hit game, but he had the bonehead play against Bieber getting thrown out at third base.
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough.
Yeah.
And not great. But I would go Verdugo Red Sox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that's the pick. Alex Verdugo in this series hit .455 with a 600 on base, a 909 slug. That's a 1509 OPS. He did not strike out once, and he walked 26.7% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, Rafi, I wasn't even watching Devers in like the context of the baseball team. It was truly just him versus Jose Ramirez. It was like a one-on-one in my mind, and Devers came out on top. Joe Ram's incredible, like one of the best baseball players of the last decade, 2 decades. Like he's really fucking historically dominant.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see Devers just one up someone people think should be starting in the All-Star game over him incorrectly.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Also, Christian Vasquez gets a Ketchup packet. We're doing Ketchup packets, just kind of like an acknowledgement. It's like a tip of the hat.
Okay.
Ketchup packet to Christian Vasquez, hit .375 in this series, got on base 50% of the time, had an 1125 OPS. Did also, joining Verdugo, did not strike out in this series and walked 20% of the time.
Love that. Yeah, I mean, the team's been taking pitches. I mean, Franchi today got struck out on a ball, so he should have hit 1,000 today. He was tremendous. I feel like Story's defense was really good this series. I'm trying to think of who else deserves any sort of packets.
Houck pitched in every game.
He did. He let up a run in the first one. I don't think he did in the other 2.
He gave up 3 hits in that inning.
In the first game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't care for that. But it is nice having a closer, of course, only in the United States. Who's going to close? Is Schreiber? They gave Schreiber the day off today. Is he just going to close in Toronto?
I mean, I would probably venture to guess that that's the best option at this juncture.
You would think. I don't know who else is deserving of that job.
Strom. I'm sure like it'll be something where they combine them if they have the luxury to do that. Like they might need to use Strom or Schreiber earlier in the game, but if you've got like a 7-3 lead, 7-4 lead, and it's the 9th inning, you probably play the matchups and go. I mean, like I don't even know that they have any lefty threats. Who are their lefty threats in that lineup? They're all fucking righties.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's a very right-handed, but Delgado.
Who the fuck is Delgado?
Carlos?
Yeah, I mean, he still mashes. I mean, the fact that he's on the precipice of 500 home runs, it's huge.
He would have had to have hit like 3 for the last 15 years to still be only knocking at 500.
Yeah, I think he has 496 career home runs. It's something like that, or like 495, something like that.
What a weird thing to know off the top of your head.
Yeah, well, it's because the fucking Red Sox signed him to a minor league deal, and I was like, fuck yeah, we're going to get to see Carlos Delgado's 500th home run in a Red Sox uniform. And it just didn't happen.
Did we sign him and like Mark Pryor to minor league deals the same season?
Yes, Mark Pryor, Red Sox legend, never made it to the big club.
Those had to have been like very close together in time.
Yeah, I mean, why the fuck? Like, what year was that they signed Carlos Delgado? Like, who do you think you are not calling him up?
That probably Carlos Pena took his spot.
Yeah, they wanted to be like, oh, look at, he went to Northeastern. Who fucking cares? Carlos Delgado retired with 473 home runs, so it wasn't as close as I had previously imagined it was.
No, he would have had to have had like a prime year to hit that.
Well, he could have. How are we supposed to know?
You're not wrong. He could have.
He signed as a free agent with the Red Sox August 7th, 2010. Never got called up.
That was, the year before they got Adrian Gonzalez?
Yes.
Okay, so that didn't get in the way. So that was the year they ruined... Oh, no, that would have been the year, Uke was top 3 in MVP?
That was 2008.
Was it? I thought his last year at first was when he was top 3.
Kevin Youkilis. Kevin Youkilis. All right.
Because 10 would have been the Beltre year, right?
Kevin Youkilis was 3rd in MVP in 2008.
Okay.
And then he was 6th in 2009.
And then he just didn't even play in 2010?
In 2010, he got 0 MVP votes.
That's tough.
And he was not an all-star.
And we kept him and let Beltre go.
Correct.
That was it was an idea.
It was an idea. Yeah, I mean, Adrian Beltre just went on to another organization that would go on to retire his fucking jersey, and he's probably going to go into the Hall of Fame as a Texas Ranger. But other than that, the Red Sox signed Mark Pryor in May of 2012. So it was 2 years after Delgado.
Okay. Listen, they were trying stuff.
Yeah, I mean, shit. In May 2012, we still had a shot.
Oh, we were in the mix.
Yeah. Like, I want to say that 2012 team went into the All-Star break like in decent shape. I think that they were like 500.
Was 12 the
Bobby
12 was
Valentine.
the Valentine
Yeah.
year, right?
Yeah.
They were above. I think they climbed above 500 in like late June, and then everything just went to shit.
Yeah, I want to say that team, the 2012 Red Sox, everyone looks back on that team as a goddamn disaster from day one because of Bobby Valentine, but they didn't go downhill until David Ortiz blew out his Achilles tendon socking homers.
Right.
He blew out his Achilles tendon literally rounding the bases on a fucking homer.
What a cursed way to go.
Right.
I'm glad he him recovering from that devastating injury that late into his career is shocking. I was also thinking about this last night since we're just two pals talking.
Yeah.
I was looking at is Julio Daniel.
Mm-hmm.
Where does he rank in terms of free agent signings ever? Not just for the Red Sox, for baseball. I think it's very high.
Ever for any team?
Not like I'm talking pure got the perfect value out of his contract. Like Max Scherzer is the historic example of like the Nationals gave him a huge deal. He earned every penny.
Mm-hmm.
Most guys, like the reason people don't give out long contracts is because they don't earn every penny.
Right.
Julio Daniel for what it was, 110? Was that the final number?
Yeah.
After 7 months of negotiating,
they
finally settled on 110.
It was 5 for like 110, and then like they still negotiated after they agreed on it.
They just couldn't get enough. They were like, let's get back at it.
Yeah, let's revisit this deal that we just agreed to.
I think it's I was looking up his numbers compared to Stanton's last night, just since 18, since they were both acquired the same winter.
Mm-hmm.
Julio's got him in everything except like home run percentage. He's got him everywhere. And then playoffs, Julio's played a lot more playoff games, which is a real shame. Stanton's OPS in the playoffs is like 2,000 somehow. He just matches.
Well, he's played like 3 games.
True, but yeah, he's shown up.
Yeah, he definitely shows up. I mean, that was one of the funniest playoff performances of all time when he just fucking was lacing balls all over Fenway, and they were like all singles.
Until it was too late. And then he was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going out with a dinger, and then I'll see you guys in April.
Right. Yeah. Nothing but respect for him.
Julio's played 5 seasons here. Really 4, because one of them was the COVID year, where he didn't care at all. But the 4 years he's played here, his OPS is in the high 900s. He was 30 when he signed, so we gave $110 million to a plus 30-year-old. You can't even call him a position player because Julio's a klutz in the field.
Right.
So we give a 30-year-old DH who had never played in the AL East $110 million, and he's been worth arguably more than that.
Yeah, I think that they should. What's the word? Retroactively give him another $100 million.
Yeah, I think that'd be fair.
Yeah. Off topic though. I was looking at the 2012 Red Sox. They had a winning record. What would you guess for a date? The latest date that the 2012 Red Sox had a winning record?
I feel like they were not horrific immediately after the trade. And then September was bad. I'll go like August 4th.
On August 1st,
Ooh.
they had a winning record. And on August 6th, they were still 500. I believe that was the last day that they had a 500 record. And this team would go on to lose 93 games.
When they mailed it in, they mailed it in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I can respect that.
Yeah, it's like, listen, are we winning a World Series this year, boys? No? All right, let's get that draft pick. And then I hope that's not the one that they fucking wasted on Pat Light.
13?
Yeah, Pat was I think the year of 12 is when they wasted the pick on Pat.
Yeah, wasn't 13 Benintendi?
Benintendi was drafted in 15 and got called
15.
up in 16.
Yeah, I know he was quick.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I was talking some draft with Stats last night.
Yeah.
He thinks it's viable that we just fucking take Kumar Rocker.
I mean, if that ends up happening, then people are actually going to start believing that you're the farm director.
Yeah, and if reading the tea leaves, like the Red Sox right now are only rumored to go after right-handed relievers.
Mm-hmm.
Who's a more ready right-handed reliever than Kumar Rocker? You just put him right in the 40 man. It's like, all right, it's go time.
If the Red Sox pick Kumar Rocker and end up putting him in the bullpen this year, Heim's dick must be 20 feet long.
I mean, what was it? The Royals who did it with Finnegan?
Yeah, they did it in what, 14 or 15?
Yeah, and didn't the White Sox basically do that with Sale?
They did it with Crochet. Was it Crochet that they did it with?
Crochet was up really quick.
Yeah.
It might have been the same year.
No. Who the fuck was it? He ended up flaming out. I know who you're talking about with the White Sox. Fuck, I forget. But it wasn't Sale.
But like, there's precedent for it.
Yeah, it was like the dude pitched in like the College World Series and in the big leagues in the same year.
Right. So yeah, I mean, even Stats was saying like Rocker's not a long-term play. If his shoulder is made out of dental floss, like just fucking let it rip.
Yeah, I mean it costs you nothing. Just costs you a pick, and who gives a shit?
Yeah,
like we've used one of those on Pat Light. Like you might as well use it on a guy that can actually help you out.
We just straight up took Pat Light in the first round. Those picks are meaningless.
That was one of the dumbest things any sports team has ever done.
Yeah, people talk about Sam Bowie. Like, he still averaged 10 and 10.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, the next guy was Michael Jordan. We get it. That's tough. Pat Light didn't average no baseball equivalent of 10 and 10.
No.
10 hits, 10 earned runs, maybe.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, draft picks are a very fickle thing. I mean, Mark Appel just got called up yesterday. He was a first round pick twice. And he did not make his big league debut for either one of those teams.
Did it go, what was it, the Pirates and then the Astros? Or vice versa?
He got drafted 3 times.
Well, that seems gluttonous.
Yeah. He was addicted to the draft.
What, high school, junior, and senior of college?
Let's see.
I don't know how else he would have.
He was drafted by the Tigers in the 15th round of the 2009 MLB draft out of high school. And then in the first round, 8th overall pick in 2012
was the Pirates. And then the next year was the Astros first overall. And he I'm pretty sure if I remember that story correctly, the Pirates were willing to pay him what he wanted. And he still was just like, I refuse to play for the Pirates.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, think of how good the Astros are even missing on that pick.
Yeah, I want to say that was the draft that Chris Bryant went second.
That's tough.
Yeah. I think they took Appel with the first overall, and then Chris Bryant was second.
I mean, Appel was as like he was Strasburg-esque in the way people talked about him leading up to even the Pirates draft, let alone when the Astros took him 1.
Yeah.
He was like as much of a lock. And obviously that happens a lot with pitchers that come out, but I don't remember too many people as lockish as he was. And I mean, I know he was down bad. He had a Twitter thread like last year talking about like how hard it was to accept what happened to him. It's kind of like Bard in a sense. Like we talked to him, like they're being able to look yourself in the mirror and be like, nah, I can't go out like this, and then come back is crazy respectable.
Right. Yeah. He actually with Lehigh Valley AAA, the Phillies organization, he's got a 193 ERA and 24 strikeouts in 28 innings and a sub-1 whip.
Yeah, I mean, what's he, 32? 31?
He is 30, but he turns 31 on July 15th.
That's not terrible.
No.
You could get 7-8 years now. Like that's his arm's rested.
I mean, Daniel Bard's 37.
Yeah.
It happens.
Pat Lake just turned 30. This guy's fucking sitting on his ass.
Yeah, the guy stinks.
How many stories does he need to see happen in his face before he just gets up off the couch?
That's what I'm saying. Do you want to stay for the Stop and Shop look ahead so you can give us a prediction?
Yeah.
Yeah. This sheet doesn't have a starter named for Monday's game, but I believe that's going to be Connor Siebold.
Yeah, I don't know how long he's going to go because he started like yesterday, I think, and only did 2 innings. So we might be out of the gate with the bullpen game.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Fuck it. Connor Siebold versus Kevin Gausman in game 1. Michael Wacha versus Ross Stripling in game 2. And then Nick Pivetta versus Alek Manoah. That's going to be a dogfight in game 3. Pivetta versus Manoah.
It might not.
It might not be. Gausman, 5-6, 3.19 ERA, 128 WHIP, 9.9 strikeouts per 9. Gausman's numbers look great, but they should be even better because he has a 1.74 FIP, which is the best in the majors. That's my Cy Young pick right there. He has struggled recently in June. He's got a 5.5 in June, 0-3. So that's a win. He's only allowed 2 home runs all year. He's already faced the Red Sox twice, so I like that. 8 innings, 7 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts. These were both in April. That's not even the same fucking team. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, or 1 run, 0 earned, 9 strikeouts. Yeah, he hasn't faced the Red Sox yet.
No, but the Red Sox have faced him.
Right. Splitter's his best pitch. Somehow, some way, the Blue Jays are 7-7 in the games that he started this year, and they've lost his last 4, all of his June starts. Chicken Strip, Ross Stripling. He's kind of in a mixed role this year. 9 starts, but 17 total appearances. His ERA since his All-Star season in 2018 and his best FIP and WHIP of his career is this year.
He was an All-Star?
Yeah. You don't remember that?
With the Blue Jays?
Who was he with in 2018?
Was he in the Nationals?
Ross.
Sounds like a National.
Ross
Dodger,
Stripling.
perhaps?
Yeah, Dodgers sounds right.
Dodger, okay.
Yep, Dodgers. He was an all-star.
Was he ever with the Nationals?
Not even fucking close, dude.
Listen, everyone knows Stripling loves the Nats.
He loves them. But he never got the chance to play for him. Kind of like how they kept talking about Aaron Savali being a Red Sox fan on the entire broadcast today.
Love that.
Yeah, just like Stephen Kerr. Not Stephen Kerr. Steph Curry.
Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
Stephen Kerr.
His last 4 appearances have all been starts. He's gone 20 2/3 innings and only allowed 12 hits and 3 earned runs. Not a strikeout guy. Season high is 7. Has only had more than 4 in 1 game. He did not start against the Red Sox this year. No, he did start against the Red Sox this year.
Definitely.
5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts. No decision. The Red Sox won that game. So that's another win. Alek Manoah, 9-2, a 2.05 ERA, a 0.96 WHIP, and an 8.1 strikeouts per 9. But he I don't want to say he sucks in June, but it's not. It's been his worst month. So this should just kind of tell you what kind of year he's having. 5 starts, 4-1, a 2.56 ERA, a 1.04 WHIP. So he's still dealing, even though if that's his worst. He's made 14 starts, only failed to complete 6 innings twice. In those 2 starts, he completed 5. His FIP is 302. He faced the Red Sox this year back in April, so he hasn't faced them. 7 innings, 3 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Blue Jays are 10-4 when he starts. 6-1 in his last 7. Okay. Coley, what do you got for a prediction here?
Manoah, I don't know how you have Gausman as the Cy Young when he's the second best pitcher on his own staff.
I picked him before the season.
Oh, I thought you meant as of now.
No. That was my preseason pick.
Gotcha. That makes way more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Manoah scares the shit out of me.
Same.
Like that, Pavetta, our emotional guide, is starting that game. He always steps up for big games, which is why I expect him to lose this one. And it's not really his fault. I want to stress that. I don't think it will be his fault. People will overreact, but it's not his fault. I just think Manoah's that good. Gausman, I mean, I think originally this start was Gausman versus Waka, and I think we pushed Waka back to push everyone else back. Waka's got better numbers, like ERA and things like that. I don't care about your nerd numbers. But there was a lot of people, especially in April, who were upset we didn't even call Gausman, let alone sign him. Didn't even pick up the phone with Gausman. Waka's been better this year. Obviously, the year's half done, plenty of year left, and we also probably won't have Waka next year or ever again. But for 1 year, hard to argue with the results thus far.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I like Waka game 2. Game 1, I don't know. Who's going to hit leadoff?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I have no fucking idea.
It's probably going to be Russ Snyder.
Yeah, I don't hate that, I guess. I mean, I prefer that we see a lefty for that, but...
Oh, I just meant for the whole series.
I know.
Why do you prefer a lefty?
Because he mashes lefties.
Who?
Ref Snyder.
Oh, gotcha. Now I gotcha. I mean, he just mashes.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that pick.
Well, because I know it's all righties. I mean, Arroyo's not lefty either, so Verdugo hates leading off.
Hates it.
And right now he's hot. You can't touch him. You can't move him.
No. I think it's Ref Snyder. I don't hate that at all. I mean, you get the you're not sacrificing defense by having him in there. He makes contact. He's got some pop.
Could even see a Jackie leadoff game.
No, we're going Ref Snyder. I'm gonna text Cora right now and be like, "Hey, we got Ref Snyder out of the leadoff spot, right?"
We're leading off with refs, right?
Big ref.
Yeah.
Should I ask him right now?
Yeah, do it. Just be like, "Hey, it's Ref Snyder, right?"
Yes, via our Snide.
Because he hit second the day Devers sat, right? And that was when he mashed against Detroit.
I'm literally texting him, Ref Snyder. Ref Snyder leadoff? Question mark?
No question. Period. That's a demand.
Period.
I thought it was my lineup card.
No.
You thought it correctly.
Ref Snyder leadoff? Question mark. This also may not be something that they want the Orioles to be able to game plan for. I mean, the Orioles, the Blue Jays. I mean, it's very hard to talk to you, text Alex Cora. Oh, look at that, Coley. He's leading off tomorrow.
I fucking nailed that.
Oh, love that.
I am not beating the employed by the team allegations.
Oh, that's amazing.
Fucking refs leading off. That's an exclusive to me, not to Jared.
I love that. I mean, that's just. I want it on the record that when you said that and you threw out other options, I was like, no, I want Ref Snyder leading off, and he is.
For sure. I mean, that was the option. I was just thinking who else could it possibly be? Once you brought up the lefty point, I had to. Franchi? Franchi. Text him Franchi game 2 lead off.
Franchi game 2 lead off.
Yeah, just let Gausman know early.
Yeah.
Gausman's game 1. Yeah, Stripling. Stripling was so annoying when we faced him earlier this year. I felt like we'd get guys on first. That was back when we'd get guys on first and second and hit into a triple play first pitch.
Love that. We got a great team, Coley.
Can we say things yet?
Not till Tuesday, no.
Tuesday's the date?
Tuesday, June 28th, yeah.
I thought it was the 26th.
No, it's the fucking 28th.
No, I can see that. So why did you pick the middle of the Blue Jays
series? I have no idea.
It
was literally like, I mean, it's the same thing like for Suns Out Guns Out. Like, why'd you pick the Suns? I don't know. That just came to me. So did June 28th.
I thought it was the 26th because Stats also had that running list of teams. He was like, listen, you gotta beat the shit out of this stretch before these next, I think it's 24 games are absurd.
Yeah, we get a lot of in-division games, but I mean, I ain't worried about shit.
No, it's not a worry thing, but it does decide the season. Not even necessarily for us, for like the AL East.
Right.
The AL East will be decided before August 1st.
Are you worried about it?
Not really. I mean, like I texted you the other day. We've got Sale. We've
Whitlock.
got
Nate.
We've got Whitlock. We've
Josh.
got Josh Taylor.
Fucking Paxton just bumbling around like Big Bird.
James Paxton's going to show up. There's the most important game of the year. Like shut down Yankee Stadium. It's going to be very funny.
That's going to be very funny.
And then you were even saying Brian Jimenez might be coming up.
I mean, who the fuck? It's a whole thing.
Brian Bayo is going to be coming up.
Yeah. He leapfrogged Mata, by the way.
Well, Mata's been hurt all year.
Yeah. But, I mean, Mata's, I think, what's he, 5 or 6? And Bella.
Bayo's the top arm in the organization.
Correct. But he's like 4th overall.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. Like, he's nasty. He's just incredible. I can't remember the last time I was this excited about a pitching prospect was Hank Owens, probably.
Oh, Jesus.
But this one's actually like good though. No offense to Henry Owens, it just didn't work out.
That snuffleupagus looking motherfucker.
He tried.
He did try.
He did better than Trey Ball.
Trey Ball, he showed up.
Did he?
No.
Did he have confirmation of that?
Is that? I think that might have been the fucking pick that we're talking about. I think he was the 2013 first rounder, Trey Ball.
No, he might have
been. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Fucking Trey Ball was the first round, 7th overall pick in the 2013 MLB draft. That was you suffered in 2012 to get Trey Ball.
Oh man, I was very excited for Trey Ball. High school arm. I think he was a lefty.
Trey Ball was lefty.
Yeah, he just gassed it, and then I don't even think he made it to Florida.
I don't even think he fucking played a game.
I don't think he did. You take that guy 7.
7th overall.
That's tough.
His fucking career ERA in the Red Sox minor league system was 5.
Yeah, that's not a great sign.
No. I'm sure he's a nice guy, though. Like Pat. Not every shitty minor leaguer is a bad guy. Some of them are nice.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
All right. I bought tickets to see the Black Phone, so I'm gonna shut this podcast down and go see that. Have you seen it? No, you have a baby.
Why would I see that?
What are you, a big pussy boy now? you got kids, so you can't go see scary movies?
I've never been a horror. Did you see the trailer for Smile?
Yes. They stole my concept.
Oh, those bastards.
I've literally been saying for 10 years that I wanted to write a horror movie, and then the whole concept was like it was a loose concept, but I was like, there's nothing scarier than someone smiling when they shouldn't be. Like, that's scary, and that's just the whole concept for that fucking movie. I'm gonna go see it, but I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna contact the writers and be like, dude, I want to cut.
You stole my brain.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
You're thinking tonight?
Yeah, it's a 10:20 show, and it's fucking 9:57 right now.
Yeah, what? That's absurd.
You're absurd, dude. I don't have a lot of free time.
I feel like you only have free time.
I have no free time. Jake, do I have free time?
Pretty much none.
Pretty much none, he said.
Yeah, I'll take Sox taking 2 out of 3, and much like how I said about this series, 1-on-1, Devers versus Jose Ramirez. I feel like there's enough people that it pisses me off that think Bo Bichette's better than Xander at baseball.
Who the fuck said that?
All I'm saying is I think there's enough people in the world who think that pisses me off. It's more than 0 for sure. So I think
those fucking maple syrup chugging assholes in Canada.
I think Xander's been decently quiet recently. Obviously, he got the off day this series after denying the off day against the Tigers.
Yeah. Did you see why though? Fucking that was the only time Chris Cotillo ever tweeted something cool.
No, I didn't.
So someone was complaining, saying, I think it might have been Stats actually. I think Stats was like, so he wanted back-to-back days off, but he played in the last game of the Tigers series when they suck, and then had the off day, and then he chose to take a day off against the Guardians when this is a big series. And stupid, frumpy ass piece of shit Cotillo he was like, well, that's because Xander has spoken about how he feels he has an obligation to always play at Fenway in front of the hometown fans.
I love Xander. I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's tough. That's tough. I'm with Stats. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. Great. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Great negotiating during a negotiation year by Xander right there.
Mm-hmm.
You got to play again. I thought he did it because Devers also got that day off, so he didn't want to have him and Devers out of the lineup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That would have been a way better excuse.
Right.
Not like, I got to play in front of the hometown team. Like that's again, love Xander.
Love him.
You got to be playing against the Guardians if you know you're getting 2 days off.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, Arroyo came back against the Guardians, so it was like, yeah, we've got more bet. Like that again, way better excuses out there than just need to play in front of the hometown fans.
Right. All right, you got 2 out of 3. Jake, what do you got?
Feels like a pretty textbook sweep.
Textbook sweep. Yeah.
Just 14-2 every game.
Yeah. Just like a vintage 3 for 3 in Toronto. No Duran, no Houck.
See, I think it's a vintage back when they used to have Roy Halladay, and it was like, all right, we know we're losing 1, so we just got to win the other 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that kind of vintage. Like, I think Manoah's got us, and I think we just got to win the other 2.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But I mean, Pavetta's gonna have the ability to match inning for inning. Like,
For
I feel okay about that one.
He's just been doing it so often recently. I'm preparing.
Well,
myself.
he's fucking Canadian. He's gonna be like pumped up to be pitching in front of the fucking the white and red maple leaf.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel less great about Gausman versus the bullpen. I feel better about Pivetta versus Manoah, but obviously it's because I respect Manoah, but Pivetta's been nailed, so.
I don't even think he's currently active, but I could see Phillips Valdez having himself a day on Monday, just shoving four shut out of the pen.
No one's been more pissed off than Phillips Valdez. Just the most disrespected pitcher in this Organization.
He'll go out and throw 6 no-hit innings against the best team in the league, and then he'll come come out and walk 5 straight guys the next time out. It's just I love him so much. He's the best.
Yeah. All right. Before I go, I'm also going Sox 2 out of 3, but I didn't eat fucking dinner, and the movie starts in 20 minutes, so I'm gonna have to get some Freshly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you can only make it in 3 minutes. Did you know that?
It's 3 less than 20.
Big time, yeah. So that's why you can skip.
Awesome. You could make 6 of them.
Right, you can skip the meal prep stress, let Freshly handle lunch and dinner, and take advantage of their limited time 4th of July sale. Wow, Freshly's new lineup of effortless in-season meals gives you more time to enjoy every moment this holiday weekend. And now through July 10th, get a special 4th of July deal and save $150 across your first 6 orders. That's right, $150 off, Coley.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. What do you usually do on the 4th of July?
Oh, I blast fireworks in neighborhoods of dogs. I know how dogs. I just blast them right at the front door.
Yeah, you do. Whether you're relaxing by the pool or watching the fireworks, your 4th of July is a day to celebrate. Take the stress out of cooking and make more time for your celebrations with Freshly. Freshly's delicious, ready to eat meals. Ready to eat meals.
Hello, Mr. Eel.
And multi-serve sides are perfect for a busy holiday weekend. Get delicious, nutrient-packed prepared meals delivered straight to your door. No cooking required. Fresh, not frozen, and ready to heat and enjoy in just 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Use the Freshly website or app to find meals that fit your lifestyle and plans that work for your dietary needs, preferences, tastes, and family size. Choose from over 50 nutritionist-designed entrees like their classic steak peppercorn, multi-serve sides, and their masterful mac and cheese, or their new line of plant-based meals. You love plant-based stuff, Coley.
Folks.
Skip the grocery shopping and dirty dishes. Your meals arrive cooked and fresh every week. New meals are added weekly, so you're never stuck eating the same thing over and over. Now you can try Freshly with $150 off across your first 6 orders. Stop stressing about dinner. Now through July 10th, Freshly is offering our listeners a special 4th of July deal, $150 off your first 6 orders when you go to freshly.com/Boston. That is $150 off at freshly.com/Boston through July 10th. Don't miss out on this 4th of July offer. Get $150 off at freshly.com/Boston.
And with that $150, you can buy so many fireworks to scare anxious dogs.
All right. Movie starts in 15 minutes. I got to get the fuck out of here. Hey, Coley, thanks for the quick call.
Yeah, no, it was just a quick call.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the quick call. We appreciate you coming on.
I enjoyed the movie, pal.
Yeah, I will. It's going to be fun.
I doubt it.
No, it's going to be a good time.
Listen, it's still legal.
Yeah, I'll give you an update later.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, bye. All right, yeah. Big thanks to Coley for coming on there, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, he's the man.
Yeah, that was great. All right, I gotta get the fuck out of here because I don't want to miss this movie. Klark's Ketchup Series MVP, Alex Verdugo. And I got Sox 2 out of 3. If they win the first game, it's a sweep. If they win the first game, it's a sweep. Otherwise, I got Sox 2 out of 3. And we will see you fucking Wednesday. And enjoy Tuesday. We'll be doing the stream. I asked Steve if he wants to be on it, and he came up with some excuse, but I don't know if he's going to actually be there or not. He could. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. June 28th stream. We'll be able to say it. All right. Go Sox.
Buenas noches, amigos.